reefing that we just did. Of course, we have a loose-footed mainsail, which makes tying the buntlings into the sail much nicer, much easier to do. Okay, and then this line is my reefing line, which is fouled as usual. And it's a little larger than it should be, and you can see what happens. It won't stay on there. But then as far as the clue goes on the loose-footed main, there's no problem at all. We don't care about having a good distance between the boom and the main anymore, because we're trying to flatten the sail and we're trying to slow the boat down. But you can see how much easier it is to set this up than it was when the sail was in the boom. So, and you really don't even have to tie these in. We just did. Now we're using when our tack here is just cleated off to a cleat there on the mast. There's other ways that's probably better than that, but that's what we've been using for a long while. That's what we'll continue to do. When we made the decision to put the reef in, we were heeled over probably a good 30 degrees or so. We were scooting along at almost 7 knots and barely in control, so we decided that, as wise sailors do, that maybe it's time for a reef. And of course, the rule on HideAway is that if you think it's time for a reef, then it's time to reef. So we went and put in our reef. And now the wind's pretty much let up. We're catching a little more now, but it just almost was a calm right after we got the reef put in.
5.5 now.
Yeah, we're running 5.5 now, which is pretty respectable. I would gauge the wind in the low points, which it is right now, probably around 10 knots. It's been gusting. Probably into the low 20s. The boat's been controllable, but we've noticed even with the loose-footed main, with the outhaul pulled as tight as we can get it, we tend to revert to our old ways of heavy weather helm, at least for a while. Now tying the reef in, there comes our wind. Tying the reef in now has allowed us to still sail. What is our speed?
Now we're down 4.7.
4.7, but we're still getting a good turn of speed, and we're not heeled over to the point of wishing we had our
Point of
to the, what was that?
To the point of discomfort.
To the point of discomfort, the captain says. Now we're sailing at our normal heeling, which is in that 20 degrees or so. And that's what we wanted to do. We're still watching the clouds up here. They're not supposed to be there, and of course they are, and it makes us a little nervous. There's a lot of heavy weather around us. We just came out with the idea that we'll try it for a few hours if lucky, and then we'll have to go back in and join the porch committee and have an adult beverage. Passing Gulfport. That'd be Florida, Gulfport, Florida.
Water for the next 6 hours.
Wonder if you'd mind restating that. We're having a discussion right now on the HideAway about the usual weather thing. This is the kind of the tail end of the first hurricane of the season. It affected us way out here. The weather is still disturbed. Hurricane's gone, but now we're deciding whether we should go in based on the weather, the conditions that we're seeing now, or whether we should risk staying out. Now, just so you know, we're facing southwest with the camera. I'm going to be bringing it around. We know there's weather to the southwest, and we know that it might be coming this way. Okay, so that's the southwest, and as we pan around here, this is coming up on the east. And while we're not expecting it to be clear there, we did not expect to see these clouds. See, as we get more towards the north, this is towards home, that we have even more issues. And then I'm going to duck under the sails here. And this is what we see. Sorry for the bump. This is what we see. So, fellow captains, what's your decision? We've not observed any lightning yet. We've not heard thunder. Wind's picking up. Now that's facing west. The weather system should be going to the west. There's just a swirl. There's a depression out there in the Gulf. So it ought to be going away from us. But what's happened is it's starting to head south right into us. So who's ever at the helm on HideAway calls the shots. Okay, Captain?
My concern is that the weather is coming from the right, from the southeast actually, and that section of the horizon is getting darker, and the clouds are building and no longer seeing the breaks that we were seeing before, and looks to me like the weather is deteriorating coming this way. So I think we should go in and tie up and wait till it passes and come out and enjoy a sunset later.
Well, that sounds like the reasonable and prudent thing to do. We'll have to go in, I guess, and we will have a consultation with the radar at the sailing club, and we'll ask our ever-present porch committee, who's preparing for a big party tonight, by the way, to have their opinion as to what we need to do next.
Well, by the time we got in and tied up, the wind completely died down. The storms don't look as threatening as they were. I think what we're going to do is just watch this Cape Dory 28 come in and dock. We'll come back tomorrow, which is the 4th of July, and go on out and have the celebration at that time. Not going to press the luck today.